What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to Endure, Believe, Rise. I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. So today I wanted to talk about questions, courage, and how the two go together. So let's get into it because we have an awesome quote here today. Quote of the day. We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. Don Miguel Ruiz. Song of the day, Invisible Hand by Crosses. So it's something that I have gleaned, something that I have noticed, something that has been brought to my attention as I talk to more and more people about their fears and overcoming them. A lot of people are scared to look stupid. They are frightened to look confused. They are terrified to look like they don't know what they're doing. And the interesting part is, if we're all honest, there is going to be some moment of every single day that we don't know exactly what we're doing, that we're confused, that we have a question about the process. This is the natural society that we live in. We don't know everything. It's impossible to. And every day there's something else that comes about that we know even less about, you know. And the thing is, the only way to find out the answer to the things that we don't is to ask a question. You know, with some things like Google, Ask Jeeves, the internet, 411, all these different technologies that have been put in place for us to ask questions of things that we don't know. What is the popular one? WebMD. Um, it's made it easier to ask questions without having to have a face-to-face interaction with people. But the thing is, there are times, especially when we want to know about an individual themselves, about a group themselves, that we must ask a question to a person. And then that's when that fear starts to rise. That's when that terror starts to seep in. That's when that anxiety starts to infect, because we now have to engage with another person. And if we don't have those social skills to do that, if we don't have those resources that have taught us how, if we don't have the courage to ask someone a question, well, then the fear makes us make assumptions. And when the fear makes us make assumptions, it's usually not a good thing. I had a conversation with a friend about that. I told them that they should ask questions, because when they don't ask questions, they just lean on their own understanding. We as Christians, we know what the Bible says about leaning on your own understanding. So when you lean on your own understanding, when you make assumptions, now you've created an entire scenario about a person, about a group, about a thing, about a place. And you have absolutely no evidence of what you're creating other than the imagination, other than the fears and preconceptions, other than the prejudices that you already have in your mind, the fears that you're creating this entire situation that could be absolutely 100% true or 120% false, because you didn't have any courage to ask the questions to find out exactly what is going on with that person, with that thing, with that situation. So what's the opposite of courage? Fear? Being scared? I think the opposite of courage is cowardice. If you're not showing courage, you're showing how to be a coward. And when you make assumptions without asking questions, that's the coward's way out. That's the I'm just going to assume the world is against me way out. It does take courage. Courage isn't easy. But it takes even more to decide to live in the ignorance of your own understanding. If you have a question about a person, about a place, about a thing, you should ask. That doesn't mean that they're going to have the courage to answer it. That doesn't mean that they're going to have the respect of you to give you the dignity of a decent response. But what it is going to show is that going forward, you'll have the best understanding of the way this world works, of the people that live in it, of the groups that operate in it, because you have the courage to ask questions. All right, guys, I need you to take care of yourselves. Please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.